Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've been checking out a lot of videos about Switzerland. How long will it last? I don't know. It's all about whatever I find on the internet that intrigues me about Switzerland, and whatever you guys suggest. So today we're going to be checking out a video that I found that is titled "5 Reasons Switzerland is Amazing, 5 Reasons It's Not." From my perspective, based on everything that I've seen thus far with Switzerland, the only thing that I could say that could be an issue in Switzerland is the cost to be there, or some of us are like that. Because at the same time, you're being paid way more money, so I don't really think it's that big of a deal, in my humble opinion. I'm not very sure, but you guys can let me know what is something that you don't like about your country, and some things that you love. For one thing that I love about you guys' country that I must say, outside of the beauty, is the politics. I like the politics. I remember checking out the videos about the politics, and I think it's beautiful, especially, the presidential representative not being able to be there for past a year, so on and so forth. You got issues, you just, I got issues here. Redo. I like that. I really do, because I think it shows that the country is about being together rather than being run by uh, idolizing someone. If that makes any freaking sense, you know what I mean? I hate politics that are idol type of worship, and if you get what I'm trying to say. So it's like you're idolizing a political party or a political leader, and that's the reason why you really want them there. So you're blinded by every bullshit they do, if that makes any sense. But yeah, they say love is blind, so I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Any recommendations, leave us in the comment section down below. Perfect. Click that link in the pinned comment section. You can recommend videos, and I'll check them out as soon as possible. Without further ado, Pam, let's check out this video.
I was watching Peter Santinello's videos about Switzerland and my hometown, Zurich.
I look at Switzerland as a place that has it together pretty well. As far as countries in the world, Switzerland's one of those places where I'm like, looks like they're doing it right in many areas of society here.
It made me a bit nostalgic. Seeing Switzerland through the eyes of Peter and the two locals made me reflect on my own experiences. I was born in Switzerland and lived there for most of my life. My family still lives there, and I still call it home, but I chose to leave. And it's been almost 3 years now since I left. Here's a list of 5 things I love about it.
I'm happy that this guy is from the perspective of a Swiss. You guys should also talk your smackadoodles in the comment section.
Switzerland, and 5 things I did not like so much about it. Don't get your knickers in a twist. These 10 points are my personal opinion, shaped by over 30 years of living there. And when I criticize something, it...
30 years? My boy, you only 30! Hold on. Yo, chill out. You just said 30 years. My boy, you do not look 30. You don't look 30. He said over 30 years. Hey, man, chill out, bro.
does not come from a bad place. I don't expect Switzerland or the Swiss to change. If you agree, disagree, or have a story to share, please write a comment. I'd love to read your thoughts. These are in no particular order.
Okay.
Drinking tap water. Switzerland is in the lucky position to be the origin of several major European rivers, like the Rhine, the Rhone, and the Inn. Now that I live abroad, I miss the convenience of drinking straight from the tap. Here, I rely on expensive filters or bottled water.
Yes, sir.
It is a luxury I took for granted. Here's a pro tip. If you want to save money in Switzerland, drink tap water. Drinking clean, healthy, good tasting water.
I would say that Finland, how is it not more expensive than Switzerland and so on and so forth, Nordic countries, whatever, because I moved here. But I have a question. The water, comparable, because I've always known that the Finnish water, well, I haven't always known, I now know, Finnish water is very good, right? What is it like with the Switzerland water? Like, what are we talking, like first, second place? Like, who at the top? It would be nice to know. But what I can say is, since being in Finland, I'm very in love with the water here. It is amazing.
Definitely something I miss very much about Switzerland. Quietness and tranquility. The Swiss society values peace and quiet. Noise disturbances are taken seriously, especially after 10 p.m., which is Nachtruhe. While some stories about bans of showering or flushing toilets at night are myths, the expectation to respect others' peace is very real. If you're too loud, don't be surprised if the police shows up. There are two big exceptions that I know of: cowbells and church bells. Those can ring any time of the day and night. So unless you are a cow, shh.
Beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Like if you live in a community, you gotta shut up. You know what I mean? You gotta just shut up. You can't be screaming and hollering like you got neighbors. You know what I mean? Like be loud somewhere else. Like I always say this, like if the environment that you're in is quiet, shut up. If it's loud, get loud. You know, people dancing, start dancing. Ain't nobody dancing, stop dancing. You know what I mean? Like read the room type vibe. That's how I roll with it. So this is beautiful to me.
It just works. In Switzerland, most things just work. From garbage disposal to public transport, processes are logical and efficient. Bureaucracy is mostly streamlined. For example, getting a new passport took me 30 minutes at the office for fingerprinting and taking a picture. The passport arrived 3 days later in my mailbox. You can often do government runs completely online. Same goes for the people. Swiss are very practical and consensus oriented. Most of the time, you will find a solution with a Swiss. And did you know the train schedule of the entire country is coordinated?
Switzerland takes its integrated scheduling to an almost unbelievable level, in that essentially all public transport in the country is scheduled to synchronize and provide very convenient transfers between different services.
Cleanliness. Switzerland's streets, nature, air and water are impressively clean. It is amongst the world's cleanest places I have ever been to. You can even safely swim in rivers and lakes without worrying about pollution.
You look clean. If I were one of them, I would not be really happy of swimming here.
Environmental regulations play a big role in maintaining this standard. We will only dump chemicals into the river once it is close to either Germany or France. Safety. I'm not just talking about the fear of being stabbed or robbed. It is the trust in the legal system, trust in the government, trust in food safety, trust that my safety and well-being is a priority and cared for.
Safety is number one priority.
One of the reasons Switzerland is so safe is because prevention is very ingrained in Swiss culture, and Switzerland likes to be prepared for most events. For example,
roads, bridges, tunnels, you name it. Switzerland has TNT, explosives, and bombs in any and all of the infrastructure.
In the event of an invasion, they can blow them up to slow down the enemy. Or the fact that there is a bunker space for every inhabitant. You know, just in case our neighbors think 3 times the charm.
I'm in danger.
5 things I don't like about Switzerland. The not in my backyard attitude. Switzerland's stability and wealth comes with a fierce resistance to change. While this attitude ensures well-maintained neighborhoods and preserves tradition, it also creates significant barriers to progress. In nature, cycles of destruction and growth are essential for renewal. Forest fires clear out old vegetation, making space for new life. In Switzerland, there's very little destruction, metaphorically speaking. The country's cautious approach prioritizes preservation over transformation, leaving very little room for fresh ideas and bold developments. Strict and narrow-minded society. Swiss society is highly rule-oriented, and stepping outside these norms often lead to swift judgment or even legal consequences. I remember one time when I was riding on the train in the morning, there was a woman that played a short voice message on her loudspeaker on her phone.
This is Phil from the Small Wiener Club.
And even before the message finished, another passenger sternly confronted her. This level of rigidity sometimes extends beyond public behavior into personal choices. Even seemingly minor deviations can spark outrage or legal disputes. This strict adherence to rules fosters order, but can feel suffocating for those who value individuality. Even though it is an old Japanese proverb, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down, it might as well apply to Switzerland. If you live in Switzerland, you will likely experience this strictness firsthand. Sooner or later, a passive-aggressive letter will appear in your mailbox, pointing out some minor infraction. Whether it's hanging your laundry on the wrong day or parking slightly out of place, you'll be reminded that in Switzerland, these rules need to be followed strictly.
I do get it because we make mistakes as humans, so I know I could fall into that situation. I do get it and I understand it. I couldn't make it a big of a deal, but I can see how it could be very mentally draining to experience that over and over and over again, especially if you're not from Switzerland. I think that would kick ass.
High cost of living. The number one thing I hear when I tell someone I am from Switzerland is Swiss people are rich. Sorta, yes, Switzerland is rich, but Switzerland is also one of the most expensive countries in the world. So we are only comparatively rich. Rent, healthcare, and services are particularly costly, with the healthcare system ranking as the second most expensive globally, just behind the land of do not call the ambulance.
America! No way! We like it. Let's go. Okay, not good. But wait, what? That is actually probably a bad thing. I don't know. I can't really say because I'd imagine public healthcare could help that situation out a lot. But yeah, behind the United States is crazy.
Dining out is another luxury. A single meal in a Swiss restaurant would cost me as much as an entire week's worth of home-cooked meals. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only reason I learned to cook is because eating out regularly was simply unaffordable. Living in Switzerland requires careful budgeting, even for the basic.
And like eating out in any country is just bullshit to me. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but if that's what you're going to do for the entire week, 7 days a week, you're going to be at a store, your ass is going to be broke. Okay, that is not a financially smart thing to do.
Basics. As a Swiss, you only feel rich when you are outside of Switzerland. Reserved social culture. Swiss people are known for their politeness, but they're also famously reserved. Friendships often date back to childhood, and forming new connections can be challenging, especially for newcomers. Expats in Switzerland frequently cite the difficulty of making friends as one of the main reasons for leaving the country. People tend to keep their personal lives private and rarely step outside their established social circles. The result is a culture that can feel isolating, especially if you're used to more open and spontaneous interactions. The golden cage. I'm sure you've all heard the expression golden cage, but have you ever heard it being applied to a country? Switzerland's stability and prosperity can sometimes feel like a golden prison. It's the equivalent to a high-paying corporate job that offers security but limits personal freedom and creativity. They pay you just enough and give you some perks to not make you have the urge to leave immediately, but they will also stress and annoy you just enough to make you regularly think about quitting. Maybe that was just my corporate experience. The Swiss society's obsession with economic growth and efficiency often comes.
Was that in the video? Damn, that was loud as shit. That came from my headphone. I don't know if that was because of the video or because my headphones were just bad. I mean, these cannot be bad, but that was loud as shit. I hope it wasn't in the video, and if it was in the video, my apologies.
Expense of room for leisure, creativity, or human touch. For instance, Swiss citizens famously voted against more holidays. While the system ensures a high quality of life and prosperity, it can also feel overly rigid, leaving me to wonder if the trade-offs are worth it. Conclusion. Living in Switzerland is like being a cogwheel in a well-designed and smooth-running machine. Impressive, but not always fulfilling. While my complaints might seem harsh, there's always levels of granularity, and most of my complaints stem from societal norms. But these norms also create the things I love about Switzerland. And despite some drawbacks, I feel incredibly lucky to have lived there. And a lot of who I am.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of who you are as a person is because of Switzerland. But yeah, he's right there, man. He said a good point. A lot of the things that he doesn't like actually shapes Switzerland and creates things that he likes, because I've always said this, and it's not to be mean, it's not to be, harsh towards anyone, but if you really think that you are incapable of doing bad things, you just don't really understand what it's like to be a human. Your circumstance changes, the way how you behave and act. And what do I mean by that? For example, you have pretty safe countries in this world. Switzerland, for example, right? If the Swiss were more social, it would create a place for disgruntled behaviors, And once you create more of a social bubble with random people, people are more confident to just approach you and say the most, insane things, do the most insane things, and it eventually will turn into crimes and, fighting and all these things. But when you limit socialization, technically things are much more peaceful. So yeah, it was a good video in my humble opinion. I don't think that, these things are necessarily that bad, but you guys can let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.